Yes. Welcome back. It is Saturday noon live once again. You are in for another episode of Forever Open Radio. I am here with the usual suspects. Of course, I'm your boy Dusty P. To the right of me, I got
SCSJR.
Yes, sir. In the cockpit, we got
Big Chris just picks on the 1 3s and 4s. You dig?
And on the other cams,
and Mr. Chris.
And Mr. Chris, we here, we holding it down. We ready to commune, to vibe out. It's a beautiful, sunny Saturday. Just
beautiful
Saturday.
Smoothie.
Can you tell people about the smoothie you just made?
Man, check this out.
That was actually crazy.
For the team, excuse me, he was a little tardy on it. You know what I'm saying? I tried to host for you, but it didn't make it. But we put raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, avocado, coconut, 100% coconut milk. We put sea moss. We put brain tonic, which is an array of different mushroom extractions from the reishi, the turkey tail.
What?
To the, yeah.
Did you put mine to the side?
Man, bro.
We'll get some furniture moving up in here.
It went quick. And
That's
man,
life.
It was full of life, man.
Yeah.
It's full of life.
Brought me back to, as you know, I was turned yesterday. So I needed them nutrients. I came, I got me my alkalizer bev. That brought me like halfway in the smoothie. That, you know what I mean? Yeah. It brought me all the way right
Gus
back.
Came through here last night and he was on one. He came through on a scooter. He looked like it was a Friday night. Just got out of the high school basketball game. And like, he was like, you know what I'm saying, down for whatever. Let's go to the bridge. I thought we had a bridge in Southern California. You know what I'm saying? I'll meet you under the bridge type shit.
Yeah. Nah,
you know
it was one of, that's what I'm saying. I was like genuinely having fun, right? Like you could have a good time. You could like enjoy yourself and shit like that.
He
I
had
think
a
is
little
one thing.
flannel on. He
But
had
to
a little
like,
flannel on.
You
You know what I'm saying? That shit was open.
I felt like a kid, bro.
Nigga t-shirt was cocked. That nigga was sweating.
He had that Chris Brown look flannel.
Yeah.
That's what reminded me of that Chris Brown look.
Yeah, I came through. Yeah,
I like
it was
Chris Brown.
a time, man. It was a time, man.
And I tell you, man, I said I'm never hanging out with you youngsters on a Friday night and have to come in and do this show. I dreaded getting up this morning. But when y'all put one on, you guys put one on.
Uncle Chris came through last night.
Boy.
He was in the building, Mr. Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the philosophies and
It was all family.
the
It was all
isms.
family. It's all love.
With the
It was
isms.
all love.
Yeah, that's big isms right there, for sure. So it was cool. So yesterday, right? I was went and got my hair cut, as you may notice. You feel me? We looking real crispy right now. We looking sharp. Shout out to my guy Tim, Flawless Studios. He's right here at the salon next to the veggie grill. But I went to go get my hair cut yesterday, right? I was like running a little bit late.
Shit is crispy.
What's up?
Your shit is crispy too.
No, appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, you did it.
So I was like going to get it. I'm like running probably like 5 minutes late or something like that. And it's so I'm like just like trying to hurry up and get there. And when I get there, I see there was somebody else, I guess was like a walk-in or whatever. And he was like sitting outside, like he didn't like take him, even though I was like 5 minutes late for my appointment. So like when I go and like I see like the dude out there, and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, in my head I thought he was gonna have somebody in the chair, but he didn't. So now I go and I dap him up. I was like, hey Tim, I said, that's how I know you respect me. Because if you didn't,
that's
bro
respect.
outside would have been, he would have been
In
sitting
the
in that chair, right?
Right,
Even though I was
right.
just
And
like,
you
I get it,
would've
I'm
been
late, but
waiting.
it's just, you feel me? Then like, or he might have had another appointment, who knows, you feel me? So we laughed about that, but then that had me thinking too, I was like, damn, there is like those little like telltale signs that like if your barber really fuck with you or really respect you versus the ones that don't, right? And I think that's one of them. Like if you running a little bit late for your appointment, I think like 5 minutes. And more than 5 minutes, I mean, like I can understand it. Like now you wilding. He gotta like stay on the schedule.
Nah,
So
you
if it's
gotta,
like 5
you gotta
minutes
call
under,
me.
and you go in there
Make
and he
sure
got
I'm-
somebody else in your seat when you had an appointment, he don't respect you.
What was you
You
saying, Big
I said
Chris?
you gotta call me. Like if you about to put somebody in my seat, you need to call me. See how far away I am.
Copy.
That's a good one. If he
'Cause
call
if
you,
if you my
running late,
friend for real,
if he respect you, he gonna call you and check before he give it up.
Because that way you not just my barber, like you my dog. Like
Yeah.
hey, you about to miss your seat.
So we talking about personal relationships or we talking about a business?
Personal relationships.
Because
Just
really
like
you
on
talking
some-
about a business, whereas if you 5 or 10 minutes late and he got somebody walking in or somebody that came on time, is it because he has a personal relationship with you that supersedes his requirement to service the person that's there?
Or I think it's because if I have an appointment, right? Let's say I'm supposed to be there at 2 and my window is 2 to 2:45.
And I scheduled it 2 weeks ago.
You feel
2
me?
weeks in
And it's
advance.
so I get there at 2:05. I feel like either regardless, that's still there's 45 minutes that like nobody but me would have been in that chair anyway.
Right.
And that's why I say like that's a respect thing to be like, I ain't gonna give it up. Like this still his slot. I'ma still like let him get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like what's another one? What you think? What's like something that you think like a barber would do that you would say like, all right, you probably don't you don't fuck with him like that if you doing that.
When you sit down and he just start cutting your hair.
Like
he
if
he don't ask you what you want or none of that. The nigga just start cutting you up like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
You gotta
damn,
ask
I
you
want
what
a
you
fade.
want.
What if
You know what I'm
you're a
saying?
regular though? What if he just assumed like it's the usual. He just know the
yo, you just never know, B. You gotta always ask, B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you
what
don't
if
know
I wanted
how
a
I'm
temp
feeling,
fade this
B.
time?
Like,
Like, it
you know
might
what
have
I'm saying?
been-
You just cutting my shit. Like, you know what the fuck I want?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to me. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm
It
saying?
needs to be a conversation.
Yeah.
Like let me
Well, I ain't been to a barber in a whole lot of years, right?
Right.
And I would think that at the time that I was still sprouting, I still had some sprout.
When's the last time you been to a barber?
Man,
Let's think about it.
94.
Damn.
Damn.
94. I mean, because my hair
I was born in 96.
my hair was very long most of my life, real thick.
Damn.
But then when it started to race to the back, I just couldn't see myself wearing a hat like this with hair coming down the side. When you pull the hat off, I look like I just came back from Home with the Clown studio. You know what I'm saying? So it had to go.
It had to go.
But the thing is, as I remember, when you sat down, there's one standard question. What are we doing today? What
what
was
we
you
doing
like?
today?
You got to know that. You just can't,
Yeah.
because you're a regular, you might feel different. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But then going back to, because right now, when you said the 45 minutes, I would have been the only one in the chair. So, because just like being in a doctor's appointment, you come in late, guess what you got to do? You're going to sit over there and wait for a minute. Or does the doctor supposed to ignore the other patient to allow your, his slot for you to go unfulfilled?
Very good point.
You know what I mean? Because now as a barber, again, I'm thinking, is it a personal relationship with respect for you? Or is it that you're a regular? You spend, a high-end dollar for a high-end cut. You do a nice tip. What are some of the what are some of the factors that contribute to his making sure that when you come in 5 minutes late, he's trying to wait on you? Because really, if somebody's sitting there and they gotta go, you're not there. We don't know, how long, like what Christian said. Is he supposed to call you? Or is it your responsibility to be on time to help his business to flow?
Yeah.
Then you come in 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late, you get an attitude. Like, dude, what you doing? Man, better sit your butt down. You know what I mean? You wasn't here. This is business.
Do what you say you're gonna do, and there's no problem.
Straight like that.
So my point is, my mom was a beautician, and most ladies that are running to now that remembered her, that she was an excellent person of service. They loved her because if they came in and had to go, my mother would work 2 chairs. If this person was really in the need of hurry or some kind of correction,
Smart.
and they loved her because what? Customer service. So now we go back to your point. Is the customer service being exemplified by having another customer wait on you? Is that good customer service, or is that a good relationship?
Or can the two be synonymous? I feel like good relationships are good customer service. But I think that's what brings back. By my job, there's this pizza spot on Santa Monica. It's called Greenwich Village Pizza. And like it's good food. They got pizza sandwiches and stuff like that. But the lady who runs it, like she's like this sweet, like older Italian lady. And like above anything, that's what keeps me coming back there. If I want food, it's just because it's just like the energy is warm. She always says, "What's up?" So happy to see you. Ask how your day was and things like that, right? So I think that's where, you know what I mean? So I think that relationship and the customer service, it comes,
makes you feel like you want to come spend your money with them.
Yeah.
Because I think customer service across the board, recently we got more people in our culture and other cultures, it seem like they're a little irritated by having to work. But when you're standing before, someone else's company, and you have to say, hello, hi, how are you? What can I do for you? With that cheery tone every single time. It doesn't matter how bad your day is. It doesn't matter what you think, how they smell, what they look like. It's customer service, good customer service. That's what's going to make you come back. But if you come and walk into your barber and be like, dude, you 2 minutes late, or you 5 minutes late, or you 7 minutes late, versus, hey man, look, I had a little business. If you hold on, I'm gonna tighten you up. You know what I mean? It's that attitude
It's a way
towards
to
the
do
way
it.
that they deliver the exchange.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I think it's just good customer service to always be polite. And I think for the viewing audience, I think that those that work in restaurants, fast food, in the stores, behind what is what is that? The machine that you tally up the money, the clerk, clerks, said the customer service with a smile will always make your company look better. Makes you look better to help your company look better.
Yeah.
So I think right now the crux of this particular subject matter is customer service. Is it business or is it personal?
Yeah.
Now, how do those two come together in the marriage? Does it? Does it work?
Yeah.
That's no. Yeah. I'm asking a question.
Oh, you're saying?
Can you-
I thought he was being rhetorical. I'm like, I feel you.
I'm saying, can you marriage a personal relationship versus the requirement of business etiquette?
I think so. Yeah, there's a way to do it.
How so?
I think so. Yeah. And I think that's what I think it's about. It's about tact, right? I think so. For example, like what you said, right? If the person is late, and I know I have an obligation to like this next customer because like you're late. So let's say like your slot is getting taken up. I think being able to like relate and like you said, instead of like coming from a place of like frustration, whatever, say, look, my bad. I know, look, you was running late. I got something, I got to take care of it. Now I respect you more as like, I see you're handling business, holding me accountable for like being late. You know what I mean? I feel like that's not something that's gonna, that's something like I can understand, like respect that. He's like, I'm gonna take care of you when I can, but like right now, because you was late, like I gotta handle this right here. And I'm be like, if I respect you, I'm gonna respect, like I gotta respect. That's where now it's like, how much do you respect your barber? In that case, if they do make that decision, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's crazy how that just ran into accountability. Because as you're speaking, I'm thinking you came in late, you're late. So if he comes off pleasant, he's a pleasant person and being very tactful in the way that he acknowledges your being late. Well, it's really accountability. And within the accountability, you become responsible. You know what I mean? So again, I asked the question, can we make a marriage out of business etiquette and personal relationships?
It had to be open marriage. No doubt. For sure.
Smooth. And so, all right, cool. So speaking of looking good, y'all heard, so the Met Gala is rolling around.
Okay.
Coming soon. I don't even know what they do at the Met Gala, like what that is. I know you see the people outside.
Is it actors?
It's like, like entertainment. It's like the who's like in entertainment get invited
Entertainment
to the Met. Yeah, because I see musicians there. I see actors. I see
notable,
right,
prominent figures of popular culture and the Illuminati.
Watch out. It's people that have been accomplished in their field of artistry, and they come and they put on a lot of very interesting outfits. That's why the subject of I would like for Josh to finish introducing the subject, because it's just a bunch of people that are used as walking billboards because of the notoriety they have from being successful in their artistry. So the clothes they put on sometimes is challenging for me. And sometimes I see some really sharp people.
Yeah. But the reason I bring that up is because this year, for what I'm assuming, I was probably like the first time, Met Gala, the theme, because every year it's a different theme, and everybody, so they do the extravagant, like dress up to like a certain theme.
How many Met Galas have there been?
That's a good question. I'm not
Let's
sure.
Google real quick.
Let's see. Let's ask, how many Met Galas have there been? Shout out to the AI.
Oh Lord, that person. Shout out to the AI.
Oh. All right, this can't find it. But why as we just curious, or was
when
that?
When was the first Met Gala?
Yeah,
that might be a question.
Yeah. When was the first Met Gala?
Gotcha. Let's see that. Instead of SSC, we're just gonna type that. When was the first
ChatGPT
Met Gala? 1948.
1948.
Yeah, the first Met Gala, known as the Costume Institute Benefit, took place on November 18th, 1948, as a fundraiser.
So with that time span, that let us know what actually the Met Gala is. See, like you said, how did it start?
Oh yeah, so it says this was a fundraiser for the newly founded Costume Institute. So yeah, it was a fundraiser.
So it's a fundraiser built around costumes.
Walking billboards, walking advertising. those that are notables put on my clothes, go to this function, take a bunch of pictures, get on TV, and try to sell my idea on fashion.
And raise money
Raise
because
money.
it's a
Right.
fundraiser.
It's like a
Did they say what
for
kind of
institution.
fundraiser is for? It's for
So for the Costume Institute's collection of more than 33,000 objects represents 7 centuries of fashionable dress and accessories for men, women, and children from the 15th century to the present.
so that's what the Met Gala is.
Yeah, so it's like a showcasing
It's a
of that.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that makes sense, because the Met Gala, when you do purchase a seat or when you do purchase a table, that's it.
Mhm.
There's no extra, there's no extra ticket, there's no +2. That's it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense.
Yeah. So this year
Interesting.
the Met Gala, the theme is actually black.
Sidebar real quick. We're gonna be, when I say we, Open LA, we're gonna be permitting and doing a fundraiser ourselves. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, keep your eyes open for that one. So the Met Gala theme this year is called Super Fine Tailoring Black Style. It says it explores the history of black dandyism, never seen that word before, and the importance of clothing and style in shaping black identities, with the dress code being tailored for you. I guess, this year the theme is, I guess, for it to be really like just the self-expression and like black fashion and it being tailored to you.
Interesting.
Well, first I'll ask, like, what do y'all think about that? What's your reaction to like the Met Gala? What's your initial reactions to hearing that?
I'm thinking, what is black fashion? Like, what does that mean? Like, we got different clothes. Like, what is that?
I would say we do, actually. I think black people, we as a people have a very different way of expressing ourselves through the way that we dress.
Yeah, I definitely think we always put stuff on differently.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think even the trend, when we look at just like what's trendy, like if you're on Melrose, if you're on Fairfax, if you see the sneakers people are wearing, the where people are wearing their pants and stuff like that, I feel like all that does come from like that's, I would say that's like black fashion.
I think that I guess I could say that it's interesting because I saw the evolution of fashion, the way it's changed. Because in the beginning, we as a culture, black culture, was always sharp. Sharp. We matched our colors, we coordinated our shirt to our pants to our shoes. We were sharp. We had I took a pair of Levi's and put so much starch on they could stand up on their own.
Straight up.
Right? But we were always sharp. But then over time, I started to notice that we started to become more successful in the eye of the public. When we're dealing with song, we're dealing with all the different artistries. And so when I saw us go from matching shirt, matching pants, the shoes is coordinated, to now, when you mention Melrose, I at one time, and I don't want to be conflictive, I don't want to be argumentative, I don't want to put no one down, but I have seen where I started to see a lot of brothers dressing like the others. And you just put on a t-shirt, some jeans, and some shoes and roll with no conscious thought. So it kind of changed the dynamic, the mental dynamic changed from the 30s, 40s, and 50s when we wore suits and a tie. Then we went to the point where in the 60s and in the 70s, we always had a matching sweater with the jeans, with the right shoes or boots. To now in the 80s and the 90s, I started to notice this change where the women or be women, their fashion statement has been theirs totally. It's not for me. I just like to look and admire. I have no skin in the game as far as the woman thing. But being a man, even recently, my cousin, his name is Ed Stallworth. He was saying that we don't have to worry about that the shoes match the sweatsuit or the shirt and pants anymore. I'm like, why? We've always been color coordinated. That's how we get down. So when you talk about the Met Gala being, geared towards a black sense of excellence and representation, I think all they're doing is really getting ready to tell the truth. Because we've always been sharp. The world has followed us in almost every single thing. And I think the problem will come from people because we're going to elevate our image. Our image will be elevated on that platform, viewed by more, viewed by many. So I think it's an excellent thing. I just hope that most in my culture appreciate what they see and start
Yeah.
becoming more about being sharp. I would love to see Sharp come back again.
Okay,
I would
okay.
love to see
So
when I
you-
look at
on-
you. You know what I mean?
On that note, popular culture, the cameras, is on us. We have that mark. We have that taste making ability
Always
of
have, too.
today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
And this is going to segue into Open Going Global. It's our fundraiser here at Open LA Store, where we're going to be raising funds to take what you're seeing right now, Open LA Store, global, around the world. And we're going to be bringing fashion. We're going to be bringing creativity. We're going to be bringing holistic. We're going to be bringing
Organic.
everything that you're seeing right now global. Okay? And we're going to put on our own gala. Like Mr. Chris said, it's time to put things into terms the way it should be, button it in, button it down, and have that sophisticated look from head to toe. Sharp head to toe. So be on the lookout. Open Going Global.
Let me ask you, I'm gonna show you something. I
Mhm.
just saw something. Goes right to the question. Look at the brown in his tennis shoes and look at the pants.
Yeah.
Was that
I don't know if
conscious?
that's on cam.
Was that conscious?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
That's
I put the pants on.
coordination.
I picked the shoes
See,
because I put these
because
pants on.
Coordination.
last week I was on my nephew about that color green, you know what I'm saying? And because he's trying to go with the green and the beige, which is an excellent combination. But for me, I would say
He
that
said-
I would like to see it, the greens are very hard to put in sync. Greens are very hard. But when you do, it is so sharp. I'm not saying he's not sharp, but I'm saying, do you recognize the attempt?
Mhm.
Why is that?
Yeah. So you don't like? Do I? Or why is what? So that's the question.
That we have this natural inclination to match,
Mm.
to have our stuff coordinated. Color scheme is tight. A material is tight.
Yeah.
Even though the fashion is relevant because it's modern,
Mhm.
but we like to have it. You know, like
You know what I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it stems from?
what's that?
When slaves were being freed, they wanted to look good, so they were treated well. So you wanted to be a free man, walk around with your top hat, in a suit.
Absolutely.
So that you were just, without even being spoken to, you were just looked at a certain way.
Yeah.
And then it just trickled down until now. Now I think we just pay attention to what we put on.
You know,
That's
that's crazy.
crazy.
Cause remember,
Yeah.
y'all seen Django?
Absolutely.
Remember in Django, right? Once he like finally got freed, and then the
put
dude
that
like he
blue-
took him to
that
get blue,
fresh
right?
smoke.
And he took the most extravagant. He was like, I'm about to look. And he threw
Yeah.
whatever on because it was
Crazy.
just like,
I had
that-
an issue
no
with
doubt.
it
you
a
know
little
what I'm
bit,
saying?
but the way he handled that
But,
pistol,
like-
I wasn't mad at him.
Yeah.
But look,
right.
But what Chris just said was, the better you look, the better you feel, the better you
100%.
what? Perform.
100%.
Whether it be in life, whether it be, being courteous to others, because when they see you, they're going to look up to you with a plus.
Mhm.
So your communication are more or less going to be a plus. And it goes back to the previous conversation about customer service.
Mhm.
So when a person walks into any type of eating joint or walk into a restaurant, a hotel, and you sharp, the person that's receiving you could be having a bad day, but just because they like the way you look could help remove them from that stale moment and give them something nice and fresh, nice and crisp, because you're crispy. You know, when you step into the place and you're crispy, it's hard to hate on you. It's hard to be mad at you. Unless now we got the jealousy, the hate, and they wish it was them. They wish they were you.
Right.
The better we look, the better we receive, the better we perform.
Yeah, and I think we as black people, like aesthetic is just like such a thing, like for us, I think, and like it always has been, of just like things just like being pleasing to I think of like black women, even like with like hair. And like how much time and like effort they like put into their hair, making sure like their hair is good, whether it's gonna be the braids or like however they're doing it. And I think, yeah, there's just this like this like internal feeling that comes with that helps you. And really, I think like being like expressive. I think that's like the other thing. It's Black people, we're so expressive. Like that's why we're poets. We make music. We we're so we are so good with our words. Anyway, because like we just like as Black people just like have this, I think, innate need to just like outwardly express and like let people see, feel, and understand. And so I think the way you dress like is a way to do that. You see people and it's you know what I mean?
Pulse.
Do you guys remember when Tommy Hilfiger made a really negative statement about his clothes? You remember that?
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger.
He said he don't want blacks wearing his clothes.
Man, he messed. Everybody was. I don't know why he did that.
Everybody was on
Everybody
the Tommy.
was wearing Tommy.
Everybody was
Even
on the Tommy.
I was wearing Tommy.
So why would you even
say something like that?
Something like that when we're a $1.4 trillion consumer?
Yeah.
Man,
you're not giving it for free.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that when we wear your clothes, we take away the value of it?
Mm-hmm. Why would you block yourself out of a whole market like that?
That's
like,
crazy.
It's crazy.
Well, and then go back to, I've experienced this myself. So I went to Walmart because I was on a business trip and I didn't get my suitcase. So I had to go buy some quick stuff. And I went to Walmart and I bought some sweatpants and a t-shirt and other accessories. But I got more compliments from a Walmart t-shirt. And I'll never forget that, right? I'll never forget that. That it's not the clothes you put on, it's who you putting it on. You make the clothes. Clothes don't make you. I'm not putting on something Gucci or Versace or Prada and think that because I got that name on my gear, it makes me greater. Because I just said to you, I went to Walmart and got more compliments from a Walmart uniform than I did for a shirt that cost me $200. It was handmade, and the jeans cost $300 because they was Italian and Italian loafers. I got just as much compliment, but it's not what you put on; it's how you putting it on.
Yeah, exactly. Because I see people who be rocking chrome head to toe and be looking crazy. Same way I'll see somebody who'll hit the thrift. And you'll like, you feel me? You'll be like, where did you even
wait, is that chrome the $10,000 pair of jeans?
Yeah, I'm not on the chrome
man,
hearts.
if I don't put my hand in there and come out with a gold bar.
I'm not on
people chrome crazy right now.
I don't want no chrome hearts.
Man, if I got a pair of chrome jeans on, there's no disrespect to the artist that created them. But if I got a pair of $10,000 jeans on, and I pass gas, it better be gold sprinkles coming out my ass.
That's crazy.
Man, that is nutty.
But it's like,
that's nutty.
Like, you know what I mean? But I say you don't got it. Yeah, you don't gotta spend it. It's how you put it on.
That's crazy.
You can put that shit on. You can put that shit on. That's
no matter what. Crazy.
Again,
$10,000.
But we're not trying to put a negative light
with some leather patches
on the man's gear. We're not doing that.
That's what you do. Like,
think about what's going on here. We're talking about a pair of jeans.
That's insane,
right? And I just don't know how you create that kind of value. You know,
how do you create that type of value?
You just
maybe the viewers will chime in and give us some comments and direct us and educate us. Because right now I'm as ignorant as they come. I'm as dumb as two rocks when it comes to buying a pair of jeans
for $10,000
with some embroidery on it or some other slit in it, and all of a sudden it's $10,000. Where I can go get me a pair of 501s that would last 30 years.
Right.
For $28.
Good Levi's.
Wow.
The good Levi's on. But that's the thing though. It's just if enough people.
Would you buy some pair of pants for $10,000? Nah. Would you?
Never.
Even if I got it like that.
You would buy some pants for $10,000, Hazel?
If I got it like that and I like them that much, maybe.
$10,000?
Oh, like the value.
Wow. So for
People
investment.
do, and people do that. I hear that with like purses and stuff like that. A lot of girls like buy it and call it an investment piece because then you'll be able to sell it for way more down the line at some point.
Okay, so investment piece.
Also, now we're making a concession for it. We're coming up with a reason why you could do it. And not
that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. I spend $10,000, it's gonna be worth $50,000, but you're not gonna spend $10,000 on a pair of pants just to wear them, though, right? No.
Well, I like the viewers to chime in.
Right.
This is good for the viewers to give us their opinion, give us your opinion, and kind of educate us on how you feel about that. Because you can't take a pair of 10,000, what they call chrome chrome and jump on your horse and do what jeans supposed to do.
Right. You're gonna mess
Jeans,
them up.
jeans is an
And
industrial.
then they're gonna depreciate.
Right. There's for some kind of work.
Industrial,
originally.
right? That's how it was created.
Originally,
exactly.
Go put you some jeans on and let's get to work.
The work,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
railroad.
So
That's the reason why they created the jeans, because of the railroad.
Exactly.
The hammer loop, the little loop to like pop a
Exactly.
hammer.
That's the
in
reason why
pant,
the
like,
jeans
all of
was
that.
created. It
the
was
overalls
created
made out
in
of
the
what?
industrial revolution.
Right. But so how do we go from the overalls made out of jeans, 501s that were jeans, Wranglers that were jeans, Wranglers that were jeans, to a pair that was at one time there was only $15.99.
It's called lost in translation.
I mean, through evolution, things
Yeah.
change. Through evolution, what once was will be again. It's just for me and the viewers, it's hard for me to think that I could put your name on my clothes and it makes me feel greater.
Yeah, and
I,
That's a crazy way to think about it right there. Put
that's
your
what it
name
is.
on my clothes and I feel good.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
that is
rough.
an interesting.
That's rough.
But that's so I think for us who aren't in that world, right? We buy clothes because like we like it, we want to wear it, we want to like just like be fly, look good, cool. But for others, that is like it's like people who buy paintings. You can
The hype beast
like what you
culture.
buy,
That's
like,
what you
people
call the
buy-
hype beast culture.
like people will buy $100,000 painting. To us, that's just a painting, but to that
Right.
artist, like this means something because this is the person who painted it or like whatever the case is. So I think it's like that's why it's hard for us to make sense because we're not in that world in that context.
Type
Where
shit.
like other people, you feel me, like that's really like their thing.
That's pretty subjective because my discipline is an artist who paints. It's called Pennington. I like Pennington's work because it has a lot of burgundies that blends into the grayish and the blues. But then down at the bottom, he has the charcoal effect. So when you put that, you look at the painting and you can get lost in it if you understand what he's doing as an artist.
Mhm.
And when you want to put it in your house, you want to put it in your room where you want to decompress. You can sit there with some soft music on with a glass of wine. You can sit there and get lost in that particular piece of work. I don't want to lose focus because I think that if the viewers would help us out here, because I think it's important that for the near future, we need to understand how we're going to use the monies that right now is in question because all the tariffs and all the changes. I mean, what's really important, and like I said, I've always had an issue because Jack Varney, he was a famous shirt maker in Beverly Hills. He used to make our shirts, and I have 3 shirts right now that's in a shirt holder that you can't cut with a razor blade. They're collector's items, but because he was a famous shirt maker in Beverly Hills that was killed. So I do understand at a time, I don't think because I was a little bit more ignorant, that I thought putting on a shirt that was handmade ended up being, $950 or $1,450. That was a good purchase. Because today in my grown-up mind, I would say I can do something for my child. I can do something to improve my property. I can do something to improve,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Something makes a little bit more sense.
That goes into your decision making because I grew up in the fashion world. My aunt is a fashion designer. I used to do cut and sew. I used to, be in there, seeing the process. So it's like certain items, you never know how much money was invested into making that item. Like, she would get real fur and different things that cost money. So
I
it's
agree with that focus.
You have items
Yeah.
that don't cost the price that they're selling it for.
Right.
But then you have items that actually okay, this man, he hand sewed this, he got this piece, this fabric from Thailand and, had to travel with it import fees and, you just never know how much it costs
That
just to make
process.
the item.
The
you know?
process to
The
make
whole
the item.
process,
Well said. I
whole
agree with that
process.
100%. And I've seen it.
It's-
Yeah.
yeah.
But in the same vein, it goes to like iPhones. They say it takes between $6 and $11 to make where they make them. They get here, it's $1,000. It's $1,100, $1,200, $1,600. But it takes pennies to make. And that goes within the manufacturing environment. Your unit takes so much to make, and now you have to sell it to make your business make sense. But I think I want to go back to and not lose sight on fashion, because what the sister just shared with us, 100% true. You'll take some fur, or you'll take some silk and wool, and which is a very soft and flowing material, and then put your name on it, and I put it on me. Well, it does. I like the way it lays, but my point is not the material.
Yeah.
It's your freaking name on my shirt.
Right.
Because how many hours did it take to make that piece?
Right.
And
Yeah.
That's a
how
consideration.
much do you feel you're worth to sell the item for? Because, you know, at the end of the day, it takes time to make clothes.
Right. You got to
That's-
So
appreciate
how
what they
long? Yeah. How long did
You
it
gotta show
take?
some
And then
monetary
how much
appreciation.
did you pay for material?
Right.
And
Yeah.
who did you have to pay to
Right.
do whatever
Right.
else you needed to do?
I
Yeah.
agree. I want the listeners.
Uh-huh.
I want you to get involved. I want you to get in this play. Let us know what you think. Educate us on this, and we're gonna move on.
Yeah. Let us know, tap in with us, and maybe we'll kind of pick the conversation back up, read some of the responses in the next episode. Thank you once again for listening. This has been another episode of Forever Open
Forever
Radio.
Open Radio.
I have been your boy, Dusty P.
SCSJR.
Just picks my baby.
And Mr. Chris.
And
And Hazel.
yes, Search Ski. And we'll holla at y'all next week.